Yo, what's going on, guys? Sekapoko here, bringing you another Genshin Impact video. For this video, we got math. And we're going to be going over specifically for players who are AR 36 to 40, can you burn your original resin early? And we'll be going over why in this video, and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions as well that go along with this, with hypotheses, math, and lots of cool things here. So we have stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Just finished the dungeon here, just AR 37, getting drops here. I'm getting 2 blue books and 1 green book. It's a little bit worse. So it's 2 blue books, 1 green book. Is it 1 to 2 or 2 to 3? It's 1 to 3 or something like that, right? I can see 1 to 3. So I just did 4 runs of this dungeon to get increased drop talent books. And in those 4 runs, I got a drop of 3 blue books on one run, 2 blue books on another one, another 2 blue books, and finally another 3 blue books. On the green books, I actually got two green books every single time, but I got 0 purple books. Now what that means is that the drop table for the rank 3 dungeon is almost exactly the same. The only thing is, there's a chance. Again. Okay, so now that you know that the drop table is on AR 36 and AR 45, you kind of seen the drops on those runs. I've gone over a rant on how the drop works. This is kind of the math of that. So on AR 36 to AR 44, when you're doing the dungeon, which is the artifact dungeon we're describing in the video, which if we go here, it's going to be the dungeon at level difficulty 3 versus difficulty 4. Okay, so this is the difference we're talking about here. Okay, the drop table is somewhere between 1 and 3 green books for AR 36 to AR 44, which is the difficulty 3 we saw. And the drop table for blue books is 1 to 3 blue books for AR 36 to AR 44. And of course, you can get 0% drop on purple books. Now on AR 45 plus, on the higher difficulty, it goes from 2 to 3 green books, so you get a little bit more green books. But you get somewhere between 0 and 3 blue books and 0 and 2 purple books. What happens when you get a purple book is that you get 1 less blue book. That's basically how that works out. So if you get 1 purple book, then you get 1 less blue book. If you get 3 blue books, you can't get any purple books. If you get 2 blue books, you get 2 blue books, and you can get 0 purple books. So worst case scenario, you get 2 blue books. That's the worst case scenario. So this is confusing as fuck. Before you get to this part of the video, know this part is very confusing. Very confusing, okay? For those of you guys who just want my opinion, can you use your original resin refills or your fragile resin in order to rank up your shit, in order to get to AR 40 very quickly? The answer is yeah, it's fine. For the rest of you guys who need math, let's go into it. And so the best case scenario is that you get 2 purple books and 1 blue book. That is the best case scenario possibility. I've never seen it. It could happen though. All right. So when would it be better to farm AR 45 books versus AR 36 books? The answer is always. But how much better is it? So now we're going to go into math, and this is the math. So the assumption is that a green book is worth 1/3 of a blue book. A blue book is worth 1/3 of a purple book. You know that because you can transfer up books when you go to the dude in the craftable table that allows you to transfer books. There is a character that you can use. His name is Xingchu or Xinku or Chinchu. I don't, just that guy, the dude with the blue hair. That guy allows you to get more books every time you upgrade books. Okay, we did not consider him in this calculation because math hard. Reason math hard is because it gets very complicated on the drop tables on how the percentage drop rate works. So we don't really have any details on how the drop rates work for everything, but we do what I'm putting together right now. And I'm not doing this. I have the link to this in Discord in the description below. We have a drop rate server. And this drop rate server is now taking submissions for the dungeons, for different dungeons, so you can actually see what the drop rates are for everything. And there is a data gathering channel. You can see this is how it would be submitted. World levels incorporated here, number of drops here, number of materials here. All that stuff is then taken into consideration so that people can then put in drops, so you can see what the actual drops are. And if you would like to incorporate this and you actually put your drops in, post a screenshot of your shit, put it in here. If you would like to submit data instead of using the Discord, what you can do is type your user ID here, your award level here, what you're submitting on as an entire form based on these things, and there you can actually say, I would like to do these things. So if my user ID is Bribbida and my thing is Bribbida, and then do the electrohypostasis, and then we go next. You can then fill out the rest of this form, and you can say how many you're getting on each run, and allows you to fill everything out, okay? This allows you to do the whole thing. It's real fast. As you can see, we're on page 4 to 6, and it only took one thing. So if you want to just do that instead of submitting it in the Discord, really good way to do it. Oh yeah, links in the description. Real easy, lots of data. Throw it in there. We can then make a better spreadsheet. Because we don't know what the drop rates are, and because we're all just trying to figure shit out on the fly, because MiHoYo has not released the drop rates, what we are doing right now is guessing. But we're guessing with educated guess math. So, we know that one purple book is equal to 3 blue books, and if the drop rate of a purple book in the dungeon AR45 is whatever X percentage is, how much is it worth? This is the question we are trying to answer right now. How much are the purple books worth? How much is it worth? More worth to farm AR45 dungeons or not? And the reason we are asking this question is because there's a buttload of players out there right now that are getting closer to AR35, AR36, all that stuff, and between AR35 and 40, and they're not quite sure if they want to use their original resin, your resin refills, on anything, or just wait all the way until adventure rank 40, use all your original resin there, and then start using your original resin on artifacts to get more artifact drops. This is a good strategy, pretty cool way to do it, but if you can get to AR40 faster and you don't lose too many drops in the meantime, would that be worth it to you? And the answer for most players on that question is typically, yeah. If I can get there faster and I don't lose too many drops, too much resin refill drops and all that stuff along the way, and I can see what the comparison value is for my resin, I would probably spend my resin early so I can get there faster, so I get more rewards every single day. Makes sense. Totally would do it too, and I'm probably going to do the same based on the math here. So let's do math. So comparison blue books versus AR45 versus 36. I know this math is kind of concerning, so what I did is I highlighted the worst case in red and the best case in green so you can kind of see it. So this is how the drop table kind of breaks down from AR45 runs, etc. But I do have a hypothesis for you, and this is where it kind of gets interesting. So the hypothesis is you will receive 1 blue book instead of 2 to 3 if you receive a purple book. What I've seen consistently is that purple books in AR45 dungeons, again, these are talent books, not XP books. They are talent books. These suckers here, okay, these things, not XP books, talent books, okay, talent books will drop 1 blue book instead of 2 to 3 at AR45. Now what this does, if you get a purple book and a blue book together, that means you're totally getting somewhere a 4 blue book max, because 1 purple book is equal to 3 blue books. So that means you're now getting 4 blue books if you do a run versus 3. So that means it changes your total blue book gain to 2 to 4. So instead of going 1 to 3 on AR36 over here, now you're getting 2 to 4 on AR45, but you might get 2, you might get 4, you don't know what it is. That's where you're at. Now, if that's the case, then we can see how much more comparable view. The reason I have these different drop tables here is if you dropped 1 blue book, if you dropped 2 blue books, if you dropped 3 blue books. If you drop 1 over here, 2 over here, 3 over here, this is the max and min what you can get over the course of 10 runs. because we have all this nice little spreadsheet for you. You can kind of see the range of what you could get based on worst case, best case scenarios to give you an idea of what to expect based on purple book drop rate. So if you get purple books here, this is what the value is incorporated. Now, what I did not do in this comparison chart, big thing, I did not put in the hypothesis, okay? This is the best case scenario up here, all this best case scenario, if you receive your blue books and your purple books at the same time. So what actually happens is if you don't receive the blue books and the purple books at the same time, what happens is, my hypothesis, you actually shift over a whole drop table. So instead of going from drop 3 table, you actually go down to drop 2 table. And instead of going from drop 2 table, you go down to drop 1 table. So you actually shift over in a drop table for like your total amount of drops. So you can kind of see, wow, that's could be a major difference if I get a blue book and I get a purple book. That's only worth 4 blue books. So you only get a little bit more out of it. And the purple book drop rate is somewhere between 10% to 33%. We don't actually know what the drop rate is because no one's done the math. No one's ate AR 45 for like 6 months. We only had people there. I just hit it today. I mean, like, people have been there for like a max like a week or so maybe. So it's really hard to show you what the difference is in there because no one's been at that level. So that's why we have the drop table gathering sheet so you guys can put your data in to get your information. Okay. Now, that's true, the max potential that you can get for your blue books is around 33. It's a little bit more, a little bit less than 33, just around there. Okay, you can bet about 33 books on your max potential, which is somewhere between, again, 13 to 33 total drops that you would get over a total dungeon for your books. Okay, that's your basic range, and that's really close to your range for the AR 36 to 44 dungeon. Now, of course, what has been seen at times is that AR 45 dungeons can drop 2 purple books. But if they do drop 2 purple books, that means they drop 0 blue books. When that's the case, that means you get somewhere between 2 to 6 total blue books per run. The 6 is being the max, so you're getting your 2 purple books and 0 blue books, and 2 being 2 blue books. Again, that's the case, then you shifts your thing all the way back up to drop table 3. But that means at best, even with all this, your drop table range is between 13 and 40 versus 10 to 30. So that's your actual drop table range for what you can get between AR 36 versus AR 40 dungeons. Because we know that AR 45 dungeons are probably at best 33% better than AR 36 dungeons. So if you're okay with losing about 1/3 of your drops for talent books and only talent books while using your original resin to rank up quickly and just losing out on talent books, you can use your original resin on talent books to rank up because you only lose about 33% of your drops at absolute maximum. Again, it's probably you're losing somewhere between 10 and 33%. That's really what you lose, is probably somewhere between that range, not absolute maximum. You're not always losing 33%. You're losing somewhere between 10 and 33%. So to be honest, if that's the case, I would rather just rush to AR 40 by using my original resin refills on my free-to-play account and use all of them on talent book grinding, because then I can just rush to AR 40, sit at AR 40, do my artifact running on the daily, and also have talent books on the daily for whenever I want to link up my talents, and I'll be fine. Because if I don't lose a ton of drops, that sounds worth to me, because now I can actually grind artifacts. So, conclusion is, if you would like to burn your fragile resin, which is your refillable resin, the thing that you can actually do, the little moon things that allow you to fill these things up, which are these things here, not the Primogem ones, but the ones that look like this. And you want to use those specifically on the talent book dungeons, like this one here. Who's to say what's worth it to you? If you want to rush it, that's the math. Okay, so for those of you who really want to know the exact math on everything, do your own math with this comparison with Jingchu. But to be honest with you, you're probably getting this much more, bro. It's not a big deal. Just do it. It's fine, whatever. If you don't want to do it, you want to hold on to your resin, you want to wait for artifacts, go for it, whatever. My name's Sekapoko. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did enjoy the video, of course, like, subscribe, all the fun stuff, and you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.